Is she sleeping? I don't think so. Is she breathing? Yes, very low. What you doing, Jennifer, my love? Jennifer, Juniper, lives upon the hill. Jennifer, Juniper, sitting very still. Is she sleeping? I don't think so. Is she breathing? Yes, very low. What you doing, Jennifer, my love? Jennifer, Juniper, lives upon the hill. Jennifer, Juniper, sitting very still. Is she sleeping? I don't think so. Is she breathing? Yes, very low. What you doing, Jennifer, my love? Jennifer, Juniper, lives upon the hill. Jennifer, Juniper, sitting very still. Is she sleeping? I don't think so. Is she breathing? Yes, very low. What you doing, Jennifer, my love? Jennifer, Juniper, lives upon the hill. Jennifer, Juniper, sitting very still. Is she sleeping? I don't think so. Is she breathing? Yes, very low. What you doing, Jennifer, my love?
Well, hello and good evening. What a beautiful evening it is. And welcome to Friday night with York Gin. Hello, Joe.
Hi, Lou.
How are we?
Have you got your passport ready?
It's here. It's ready. We're going on our holidays, everyone. Well, we're going on our virtual holidays because tonight we are going to celebrate the humble, I can't see a thing. There we are. Humble juniper berry, and without which we would not have York gin. So, for starters, what's a juniper berry? Is it a seed? Is it a flower? Or is it a fruit? And there they are, the beautiful
fine
juniper berries. And have you got a little part B for us, Joe?
I have. Now then, junipers grow all over the place. No, I never said a word. Junipers grow all over the place. But where do we think are the best ones in the world come from? Where does York gin get its junipers from?
Mm-hmm.
So there we are. And that's why we decided we have to have sunglasses and passports out tonight, because when we came out of a wonderful country, we just wanted to go there.
We want to go there. So these little small dark berries are part of the legal definition of gin. So without juniper being the predominant taste, it's not gin. So
there is no gin. It has to be. It's a legal requirement.
Yeah, but Joe, is it a dry do? What's going on? I've got one.
Like you've already started. Right, now I am going to try. I've never tried this before. It's called Junipirum. It's a very juniper-led gin that the bosses at York Gin discovered when they went down to London to do Junipalooza, and they got very friendly with these guys. It's actually from Macdeonia, not known for its gins, but this is apparently super. So I have put it into a cuppa, nice big portion there. I was going to have it with just refreshingly light, but all my other cocktails today are pink. So I'm going to go with pink. I am going with aromatic tonic water, so I'll tell you what it's like. Or have you got it neat?
I have. I've just put some in a glass neat. I'm having a good old sniff, and it's
You got your snoz in there, and then you're rolling it over your tongue.
Oh, it's well, as we know, my nose is quite big, so that's all good. So,
it's not right. Cheers. Let's have a try.
Cheers, darling.
Oh, it smells good. I'll tell you what, it doesn't have to smell good.
I really get in the juniper. Really, well, it's just as well since it's a juniper-led gin. I'm really hoping that I get the juniper.
Do you know that's absolutely delicious? It's quite woody.
Yes, I think you're right. Now, for my cocktail, it's dealer's choice this week, so I get to choose my 3 favourite cocktails. So, like any good party, we always start with some fizz. So I'm going to make, as any of you that have been to mine and Joe's, that's terrible grammar. Any of you that have been to our nights before, we like to start with a fizz. And we like to start, I like a French 75. So we start with some Grey Lady. Now, the reason I'm going to use Grey Lady is because of the citrus element in it. I think it will go really, really well with the champagne. Now, unlike me, and I know this is a first for me, guys, I'm actually going to use the small side. Ooh,
What's wrong with you?
I know, nobody likes the small side, but I'm going to pop the small side straight in to a champagne glass. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take half a measure of lemon juice, and here's one I poured earlier, so in that goes. Already looking good. I'm then going to top that up with champagne. And like Joe, I had a little bottle.
You just happened to find a nice one in the back of the fridge.
I know. So I'm going to pop that.
Kirsty saying hello from the hammock. That's not fair, is it?
No, that's not fair. Now, you can put a little dash of sugar syrup in there, but I'm actually choosing not to because I don't really like it too sweet. So I'm not going to put the sugar syrup in there. But I am going to put a very fancy lemon swirl in there. And I think I might just give it the tiniest, without it bubbling over, I'm going to give it the tiniest stir. Cheers, my dear.
Cheers.
Oh, that is good. Oh, named after a French gun.
Yes, it was 75mm gun in the First World War. That's right. And it was obviously, of course, the cocktail. We can't go a whole week without mentioning Casablanca. Right then, I think, should we get some answers to those questions?
Go on, Joe. Tell us what it is.
It is, of course.
Yeah, what is it? It's a seed.
A seed. See? It's all right. I'm just looking for my slides. They've gone all dinged up.
Oh, it's me.
It's a slide. It's a seed. And we get ours from this amazing place that I knew a bit about, but not much, Macedonia. So yeah, we're all the way from Macedonia. Absolutely amazing looking place.
Oh, look, there is North Macedonia, because it's got a bit of a history with Greece, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've had quite a lot of falling out over the years, but they're now an independent country. And look at, even their flag's jolly. Look at that.
Very jolly, and we're going to find out lots about Macedonia.
We are. It's absolutely. I'd like to kick you off with something close to our hearts here at York Gin. Cats, of course. What is the national symbol of Macedonia?
I'm going
Oh, go and get them. Is it a witch's cat, like Rutterkin? Is it a Maine Coon, like Susannah and my cats? That's Jones there, looking particularly fine and posy. Or is it a lynx? Witch's cat, a Maine Coon, or a lynx? What would you find as the national symbol of Macedonia?
There we go. And I've got one of my girls to show you. This is Mr. Tibble.
Oh, hello.
Oh. And he's a Maine Coon. There you go. Say hello, everyone.
I think Ali Kirkham's been to Macedonia. Ali, will you take me there when this is all over? I've got my passport ready and everything. I'm desperate to go.
We are definitely ready to go. Oh, it looks fabulous. So, yes, which one was it? I hope it's Rutterkin or a Maine Coon, because we love them.
Well, indeed. Well, it could have been any of those, because they're all very ancient cats, just like Macedonia itself. Everything about Macedonia is ancient. The juniper berries are ancient, as we know. They're one of the very first trees in the world. Junipers, very, very old. The language is old. The culture is old. And in fact, it's so old, they actually claim to have 3 very large bits of Jesus Christ's cross. and they are buried in 3 of the foundations of the big churches there in Macedonia, apparently. So they claim. And talking of churches, if you go to the town of Ohrid on Lake Ohrid, you can go to a church every single day of the year. That town has got 365 churches.
Oh, that looks amazing. I would really like to go there. Definitely like to go. Oh, please.
It looks great, doesn't it? It just looks great.
Oh, it looks really nice. But having said that, we're very lucky because we live in York, and that's really great too. So
that is really great too. But I must admit, I've got a wanderlust after seeing that.
No,
yeah. Helen Reynolds, yeah, you get in that Clover Club, girl. I'll be joining you in a bit. Right then. And the next very ancient bit of Macedonia is actually something that Jill and Russ Bennett will like the look of. This is called Kokino. It is one of the very, very, very earliest observatories in the world. NASA reckons it goes back to 19th century BC. So that means that all the Bronze Age blokes would have been out there with their juniper berry beers and they're stargazing. They'd have been doing a bit of navel gazing, a bit of stargazing. They're in Kokino.
Oh, looks fantastic. I hope they're drinking our York juniper beer, because our juniper beer.
I hope so. Yes, I think we have to get some of that on the show next week, don't we? Some what's it called? Juniper. Juniper,
because we haven't got anything going on this week, so we need more drinks, everyone.
More drinks. Now then, it's very, very old, this place, Susanna. With every old civilization come old stories. Have you got one for us?
I have got a story, and this is about a large child-eating monster who lurks in caves guarding treasure, and nobody's going to get that treasure no matter what. She does not wish to be disturbed. She's got a god's head. She's got big sharp teeth. She's got 4 legs, talons, and a tail that's going to swipe you off, right? She's going to flip you over with her body, and she's covered in fish scales. She's absolutely...
Oh, nice.
She's gorgeous. She's absolutely...
I feel a bit like that after this lockdown without any trips to the beauty salon.
So what we would like to know is, what is this beautiful, gruesome girl called? What is she called? Is she a lamia? Careful how you say that. Is she a gorgon? Or is she a sphinx? Is she a sphinx? A lamia? A gorgon? A gorgon?
A Gordons and Schweppes, please.
Oh no, nobody. Thank you very much. So we've had a right laugh this week. So we do apologise in advance because some of this is going to be a little bit X-rated. So we apologise for that. We don't care actually. So we're sorry. We don't care. Hello, Flo.
Very funny, Sandy Tanner Smith. She said it looks horrid to her.
Oh.
Right then, next question.
Go on then.
Which famous son of Macedonia went on to become a bit of a worldwide nuisance and conquer just about everywhere? Was it? I'll wait for the pickies.
There we go.
Alexander the Great, Alexander Skarsgård. We just put him in there because he's gorgeous. Or Alexander Hamilton. My name is Alexander Hamilton. Which one of those Alexanders was a bit of a menace?
Well, I hope it's the middle one, because you definitely would, wouldn't you, Joe?
Yeah, I would, but he'd probably take one that look at me and said, "Get those scales away from me, girl."
You would not. That is not true. So, speaking of these lovely people from Macedonia, I've gone frozen. What's happened there? Oh, hello.
Look right to me. No, look right to me.
I'm back. I'm back in the room. That was weird.
Back in the room.
So, talking of famous people from Macedonia, I would like to know which of these 3 well-known people are from Macedonia. So there you've got now. This is a tongue twister for me. Bucephalus, I believe you said. Bucephalus.
I think it might be Bucephalus.
Okay, we'll go with a K. Bucephalus. Is it Mother Teresa or is it Aristotle? Which one of those magic 3 comes from Macedonia?
Which one?
Oh, now interestingly, Joe, it's our favourite time. What time is it?
Cocktail time.
Yay. Go. I think you're going first.
Is it? I can't remember who's first. Let's see the ticker and it will tell us.
I think it's you, darling.
Is it? Which one is it?
It's the Macedonia invented by...
I'm making a Macedonia.
Go on.
So, a variation on a gin fizz, because I just fancied it. So I'm going to have Grey Lady, rose water, sugar syrup, topped up with soda water and an egg white. So that is this one.
There we go.
I'm just going to stir up my egg white.
Let me see it. Oh, go on, give it a good old whisk.
I am giving it a good old. You don't mind, do you? Just give me a moment. Here we go. There we are. Right,
Oh.
I'm going to serve it in a. It should probably be in a Tom Collins glass, to be honest, but I've done it in a copper. So sue me.
Do you know what? It's dealer's choice this week. We can do whatever we like.
Exactly. I was saying, just sue me. Right, and I'm going to give this a stir as well with my great big stirrer.
Ooh, that is a big one you've got there.
I say I like a big one.
I've heard that.
And a quite sad lemon thing on the side. It's a bit pathetic, but hey ho. And I've got 2 lovely cherries in there, which are going to taste delicious later because they'll be all gin soft. Right, let's give it a try.
That sounds absolutely good. Give it a whirl. Give it a get your snoz in there, Jo.
No, that's really nice.
Is it lovely?
Yeah, it is really nice.
You like the ones with the egg whites, don't you, Jo?
I do. Well, I've actually chosen 2 with egg whites this week since it was, as you say, choose your own. Yeah.
Oh,
so what are you making?
Well, I'm just going to say hello to Annie Harrison and Barnsley because Barnsley's watching and he is a regular viewer and enjoys the gin very, very much. So, as it is my choice this week, well, you know what I'll be finishing with, but anyway.
Negroni.
Yeah. So, Tom Collins, and of course, I'm going to use our York Gin Old Tom gin. And Old Tom, remember, it's got the white rose and the star anise and the bronze fennel. So it's got a slightly sweeter, slightly sort of rounder approach. I really love it, and of course, it works brilliantly in a Tom Collins. I've already got my cocktail shaker. You don't need a cocktail.
Yeah, she's shaking away. Yes, Jenny Roper. It had to be an egg white for me. Ha ha.
Always. So
it looked a bit Macedonian. What do you think?
Yeah, I think maybe. So I've, of course, gone back to normal and I've gone with the big side. We only like the big side, don't like the little side. So I've put a double shot of Old Tom York gin in there. I'm then going to pop in a full shot of lemon juice this time. There we go. Am I going to put anything else in it? I might put a tiniest amount of sugar syrup. I really don't like it sweet. And as I said, you don't need to make this in a cocktail shaker whatsoever. You could put this all straight in the glass. I'm just being fancy, really.
I knew there was something missing from my drink. There's not enough ice in it. I haven't got enough ice in.
Get some ice in there. So I've just given that.
I knew there was something missing.
Now I'm going to so I'm using a Collins glass. So as we normally say, now there are other variations of Collinses, but obviously we use the Tom Collins, which is a gin-based Collins. So I'm just going to fill my ice up in there, just leave enough for my legs. And I like a lot of ice in this. I've shaken my cocktail, give it a last little bit there. I'm going to pour that in.
I think John Conroy's swearing at you. He just said bucephalus.
Bucephalus or cephalus? Oh, God. Whatever. Right. And I'm going to top that up with some soda. Now, there's not a lot of room for soda in there, but just enough to take the edge off, probably.
Yeah, which is all gin. You're not fooling anyone. It's all gin.
No, I know. Hello. And here's the Man Clan joined us. Oh, there you go, the Man Clan. I'm glad you're there. Now, I have been very fancy with my cherries this week.
Oh, you're just ridiculously fat. I mean, look, that's what I manage.
Right, I did.
Yeah, well,
honestly, Jo, if it was difficult, I wouldn't have managed it. That is just 2 cherries and a cocktail stick through a lemon wheel, but it's going to look rather fabulous. Sat in the top of my Tom Collins. Here's my metal straw. In it goes.
Yeah, you're just so.
Are you ready? Here we go. Oh my God! I'm so glad it was dealer's choice this week.
Nom. Right then, do you think we want to do some answers?
Oh, go on then. I'm just going to drink my Collins.
Yeah, you drink away, and I'm going to answer the first question.
Get another cat.
Yeah, get the cat, and just in case that's the right answer.
Yeah.
Well, did you get this right? It is, in fact, the Balkan lynx. Bless it. It's one of the most endangered species in the world. It lives in the high mountains of Macedonia, of which there are many. It's a hugely mountainous region, apparently. It's on the 5 dinar piece, so you can see him there, bless him, and the 10 dinar stamp. Very, very endangered, but they're all trying to save this gorgeous, gorgeous lynx. Anyway, so that's who it is. It's the Balkan lynx.
Yeah, but Jo,
oh,
as handsome as Paris, is it?
Oh, he doesn't look very endangered, does he?
No, he's a pampered prince. This one. This is actually Count Paris of Verona. He's called Melting Heart Count Paris of Verona. There he is.
Oh, he's so lovely.
There you go, darling. Down you go, sweetheart. There you go. Now he's covered. He's just come back in from the garden. He's absolutely covered in this. Right, question 2. was all about this gorgeous girl. Who is this gorgeous girl? Well, look at her. Who else would she be but a Lamia? Now, Joe.
Yes.
And I know lockdown's been going on for a while, but why has she got her Why has she got them out? What's going on?
Boobies.
Boobies. So in Macedonia, there are some fantastic places. So you've got Cave Pesham, which is a bit like Helm's Deep from Lord of the Rings, if you're into that sort of. It's 30 meters high, though you would just stumble upon it. And or you could go to Cave Vrelo. I nearly said Velcro then, but it's Vrelo. And that's one of the underwater caves in the world. And no one has managed to get to the bottom of it yet.
No.
7 meters.
I think they've got to 77 kilometres so far. No, meters, sorry. Meters so far, haven't they?
Yeah, I think so. And do you know what? She's all right on her social distancing down there, isn't she? She's fine. She's got no problem down there.
I don't think Alexander Skarsgård will be going anywhere near her. Just saying.
No, you just send him our way. It's no bother. That'd be lovely.
Yeah, exactly. Don't mind if I do. Right then, next question.
Go on.
It was, of course, Alexander the Great.
Not the middle one.
Sorry, we can have a bit of a picture of him up at the end just for fun, but it was Alexander the Great. Now, Alexander the Great was put in charge of Macedonia at the age of just 16. His dad buggered off. His dad was Philip, King Philip, buggered off to go and fight the Byzantine Empire and decided it was quite acceptable to leave his 16-year-old son in charge of it. I wouldn't have left my 16-year-old son in charge of making a pizza, let alone ruling Macedonia. I'm not being funny. But anyway, he decided to flex his muscles at just the age of 16, and off he went to conquer everywhere around him. He took with him this army, apparently, of only male lovers. It was 120 couples. 120, so 240 blokes who were all lovers, and they were undefeated. They wiped the floor with everybody around them and just went from here to there, conquering.
So you can be a lover and a fighter.
Yeah, I like it. Yes, well, apparently, yes. I mean, I'm sure I don't know what that says about it, but I'm sure it says something. In fact, he was so indestructible, they reckon that his dad wasn't really Philip. It was actually Zeus. So, yes. Zeus. Alexander the Great. Yeah, and they bumped him off at the age of just 32. His dad was poisoned by his own bodyguard, so probably went the same way. But anyway, yes. Dangerous times.
That is indeed sad. Now, on to the next three lovely people. Were they? Well, we'll give it away. They're all from Macedonia. Can you believe that? Now, of course, the horse on the left that I struggled with is Bucephalus. Cephalus. Now, Bucephalus. Oh, hello. I think it's definitely Bucephalus. He was actually a black stallion, and he was known for being wild and racy. And it took the might of Alexander. He was the only one who could tame him. So yes, there we go. And then Mother Teresa, although we often call her of Calcutta, and we know that she was born. We don't know actually because she was born in Macedonia. She was born in the capital called Skopje. Yeah. Okay. Aristotle, who is the gentleman on our right, he is great. Obviously, the Greek. He's known as a Greek philosopher, but there's Macedonia and Greece, they're a bit funny with each other because he was born right on the border, and his dad was physician to the king of Macedonia. And in an incredible turn of fate, he actually taught, who did he teach, Joe?
Alexander Skarsgård.
Oh, I wish. Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Great, of course.
He was Alexander the Great's teacher, he
probably must have given him some bad ideas because he just was off there and doing it, wasn't he?
He was. But see, I love that. I love it when a question actually comes full circle. It's really good.
Yeah.
Really good. All righty. Tell us a bit more.
Right, what are we on to now?
You're going to tell us about something else about Macedonia, I think.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, hopefully about broadband.
You what?
Broadband, I'm hoping.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, just before we move on, apparently in Macedonia you can tune in and tune out. Despite being one of the most ancient civilizations in the world, Macedonia was the very first place to get nationwide broadband.
I wish it was so
I know, it's sad, isn't it? Complete and utter broadband full access. And we don't need this at York Gin because we have York Gin. But if you so desire, in Macedonia, they have the world's strongest opium. It's about 50% stronger than anywhere else in the world. So I don't suppose they get up to much there, apart from just lying around going, hey, man, it's really cool.
Well, I'm already triple parked, so I'm completely fine with my gin. Thank you very much. More of that.
Indeed.
More of that way. More of that later. Right. So, of course, we've talked a lot about Macedonia, and it's fabulous. And we definitely want to go. We've got our passports. We're ready to rock and roll. But hang on a minute. What about the humble juniper? This is all about juniper this evening. So we know it comes from Macedonia, but did you know that also it has a history associated with medicine? So, for example, in 1500 BC, the Egyptians used it to cure tapeworm. In the Roman times, they used it for purification and stomach ailments. But now I want to talk about Mr. Culpepper. He's a medieval herbalist. I would like to know, I'm already laughing. What did Mr. Culpepper, we'll call him Dr. Culpepper, what did Culpepper use juniper for? Did he use it to treat headaches? Did he use it to cure boils? Or did he use it, Joe, for flatulence?
Why are you saying that to me? What are you saying? Are you accusing me of being Windy Miller?
As Mad Alice last week said. Do you remember what she said last week? She said you just lift her butt cheek. Well, I really don't know. Joe, gives another question.
Right then. So, where are we? Yes. Well, you were going to tell us about the Spanish epidemic.
I completely forgot I was going to do that. So in 1918, we're talking about the Spanish flu. People then were actually told to spray juniper oil around their houses. Now, why they were told that? They were told because it prevented airborne infections from spreading. So we're drinking our gin, but perhaps in these heady days, we should actually just be spraying it around our houses. I quite like that. Do you know there are several?
I quite like that. It's no more daft than trying to get yourself injected with Dettol, is it? I mean, let's be honest.
I would say that's much more daft, to be honest. But of course, there are lots of perfumiers. So, for example, Joe Malone and Penhaligon's, they actually all make juniper perfume, which is fabulous. Let's have some of that.
We'll be having some of that. Yes, and back in the 16th century, of course, when we were hit by the bubonic plague, the plague doctors, there should be a nice picture coming up any second now. There it is. The plague doctors thought that if they filled their beaks with juniper berries, they would be saved from the infection. That the juniper berries would filter it out because they were very strong and filtery. And there on the left is the most amazing plague mask that my lovely Bryony has just made for her art project. They had to do something about COVID-19 and social distancing. I'm not being funny, but if you saw that coming up the street, you'd voluntarily social distance, wouldn't you? Let's be honest. Whoops a daisy, off you'd go. So yes, put it in your plague mask. You're safe.
So Mad Alice has just been on, and she calls it a left cheek sneak. So there you go. Look at that.
What if it comes out of the other one?
Oh, we'll do a right cheek sneak then. There you go. There you go. So carrying on with the work of juniper, we've covered medicine. We're going to put that to one side. Now, this is where we are all going to be, forgive us. Juniper is mentioned a few times in the Bible. Now, the prophet Elijah sheltered behind a juniper bush when he was running away from Queen Jezebel. And let's face it, who wouldn't?
You would.
You're definitely running. But, Joe, have you got a question for us?
I have.
Good.
There should be a fabulous slide with some people just
some
above the top.
There they are.
There they are. You might recognise the cloak there. You can probably guess. Who hid from Herod's army behind a very handy and very large concealing juniper bush? This is one for you, Siobhan.
Yes, one for you. Definitely, Siobhan. We are
sorry, my bra strap.
I'm going to readjust.
It's a rearrangement here.
Off we go, sorted. So keeping on the biblical theme, now we've already talked about Mother Teresa, so I'm already laughing. I'm so sorry. There is actually, unbelievably, a Saint Juniper. Okay, it's a magic. Google is just a wonderful invention.
Is he the god of gin?
Do you know what? That's far too blooming obvious. No, he is not the god of gin. Who is he the saint of? Is he the saint of tragedy? Is he the saint of comedy? Or is he the saint of musical theatre?
Well, it looks like he's about to burst into song, I have to say. So I would go musical theatre on that one.
I think he's probably known as Jazz Hands Juniper, but I'm just guessing.
I love it. I love it.
You wait for the answers, guys.
Right then.
Go on.
In mythology,
Yeah.
is actually a symbol for fertility, and chastity, weirdly enough. So it's both of those things. But if you were waving around a smoking juniper branch, what would you be trying? Go on, I know you're bursting. What is it? What is that actually called? It's actually called a
smoking bush. That's what it's called.
burning bush. If we're talking about biblical times, there has to be a burning bush. There is this particular burning bush is actually to ward off which evil thing? Is it to ward off the devil himself?
Yeah.
Is it to ward off wolves? Or is it to ward off witches?
Oh.
Or is it to ward off Susannah and her naughtiness?
I'm so sorry. My mind is in the gutter, as always. I am the queen. On Tolstra. No, the only good news right here, actually, because it gets worse, folks. But the only good news is, guess what? It's time for another cocktail. Take it away, Joe.
Is it? Bloody hell! What is it now? Crikey!
Crikey!
Oh, this is my Clover Club.
Oh, go on then.
Here we go. Sorry about this. A bit more blue petering. Well, you can't. I say I'd blue petery, but you can't really whisk up an egg white earlier, can you? You've got to do it now. So, hence me being a bit of a pain. I'll mix the rest up though, so it'll be quicker. Right. So here we go. This is my Clover Club.
Yeah.
So I've got a double portion of which one did I use? I actually used classic. I've only got this one left, which is the engraved one. So you can get a bottle engraved.
That's really
Merry
sad.
Christmas, Mummy, from Sam.
Are you seriously telling me you've had that since Christmas?
I have. No, I think I might have had it filled up once. But we did get 3, so anyway. And then we've got some raspberry syrup.
Yeah. No, that's
lemon juice.
Yes.
So I had Kirsty squeeze that for me earlier. Bless her. She said, "Can I help?" I said, "Yeah, you can squeeze my lemon. Thank you very much indeed." So there we go. That's going in, my lemon juice, to take away some of the sweetness. And there's my pathetic thing that's nowhere near as good as Susannah's. It just looks like a worm, doesn't it? But anyway, what can you do? In goes my egg white.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks nice. I can't say it doesn't look nice because it does. And I'm going to give it a stir up.
Go on then.
And unlike last time, I'm not going to forget to put my ice in.
Go on. Go on then. Let's see it. Oh, actually, Joe, that looks fab.
Doesn't it? Let's see if it tastes as good as it looks.
Go on.
Oh, that's strong. I think I might have got the proportions slightly wrong, but it's very nice.
Now, the good news is, because it's my choice this week, and anyone who has followed us knows that this is actually my all-time favourite cocktail. So, hurrah! Now,
is it called an Alexander Skarsgård?
It should be. No, I've lost my thing. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly give that a little tiny rinse out. Not that I don't know why I bothered, to be honest, because I like them all. So I'm going to make, as anybody will know, my favourite gin-based cocktail is a Negroni. The good news is I'm not going to witter on about Italy like I usually do. But I am going to use my cocktail shaker. You absolutely don't have to. But I am going to put, obviously, the big side. I'm going to use York Gin Classic. So there it is. It's my classic. There it is. And I'm going to put a double shot of that in there. And I have to say, it's such a beautiful night that I think that I'm going to be spending the rest of the evening out on the patio. Later on, I will have the wood burner or perhaps the fire pit on, but I will be drinking lots of these. I'm going to put, this is Martini Rosso, so sweet vermouth. I'm going to put a double measure of that in my little pot there as well. And by the way, Mad Alice, I have not lost it. There is yet more shenanigans to come. There's better. There's some of my favourite.
More shenanigans. Jenny Roper. We just shove them in omelettes tomorrow morning. So it's a very nice, very yolky omelette. That's all. We don't waste them.
Alrighty, I'm going to give that a little shake up. You do not have to do this. You can just make it in the glass. I love us. You love us. What?
Sorry, it's John Conroy again. Squeeze my lemons and burn my bush.
John, there's miles worse to come. I promise you. Right, so I'm going to strain it now. I'm going to put this over ice. Now, sometimes people get really precious. They all should have Negroni and nice. So I am.
Yeah.
And actually, do you know what?
Your gin your way, isn't it?
Your gin your way. Oh, I'm in an orange. Hang on. But then, of course, an orange wheel. Now, this is.
Don't tell me you've done something fancy with your orange as well. Look at you.
I just did a super. Look at that. It's a super slim slide. That's really hard to say. Go.
Only when you've had 20 gins.
Oh my god. Do you know what? And I know, Mum, I'm really sorry I've never made you one of these. I will make you one of these. This is actually my absolute favourite.
Hold on a minute. Rewind that. Did you not have any on your cruise when you went to Capri and everywhere?
No, we drank all sorts of things. But but no, Negroni's was last summer on my Italian adventure last year. Hey. So, but honestly, guys, have a Negroni.
We have a Negroni. Come on, darling, have a Negroni. Right then.
I think exactly. We've got to give some answers. Right.
Yes, we're going to get on to Culpeper and his boils now.
My favourite. Of course you know this one. You know it's going to be the rude one. Of course the answer is flatulence, isn't it, Joe?
There we go again. You're back to me with the bloody farting. Well, actually, having said that, it's not that it's not that unlikely, is it? Because everything you've talked about has been to do with the stomach and the digestion. So, on a slightly more serious note, it clearly does a good job.
Yeah.
Right then, who have we got hiding behind this tree?
Well, you know who it is, Siobhan. Who is it?
Oh, it's Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, and the donkey. There they are, hiding behind a particularly handy and large juniper bush. Marvellous.
Marvellous. Well, thank you.
Marvellous. Herod's army, get lost.
Right, now, I have to give a bit of a warning before the next slide and the next answer. I'm very sorry if you are deeply religious, and I'm well, I don't know what else to say. I love it, but that's maybe just me. So, St. Juniper, what was he the saint of? Well, the good news is he's the saint of I'm not sure he was around in the days of Photoshop, though.
Well, he might have been.
I can tell you he wasn't, because he was big mates with St. Francis of Assisi, is actually his big mate. And unbelievably, this lovely chap here was known as the Jester of the Lord.
Well, but they do say never work with children and animals. So I hope Francis of Assisi never got roped into any of his performances. Just saying.
Honestly, a thunderbolt is going to come at us any minute. Any minute. So we are. Okay, so Joe, tell us about your burning bush.
Which bit of burning bush? Oh, that one, yes. Right, okay, so yes. You set fire to your juniper because when you burn a piece of when you burn a piece of juniper wood, it's very, very like setting fire to a piece of incense. It gives off lots of aroma, but very little smoke. So you actually put one of these pieces, she's a nightmare, put it outside your door and you will not get a visit from these wicked ladies in pointy hats. The answer was witches.
Yay!
Yeah, you set fire to some juniper outside your house. Witches, no, they don't like it. They're not coming along.
They're not having it.
And actually, it's very useful for the bad boys in the Highlands, pretty similar to the time of the Gin Act in London, when they were trying to stop small distilleries from selling small amounts of gin. They were having a go at the Highlands as well and saying, no, you can't make whiskey. So what they used to do was, the whiskey distillers used to use the juniper to make their fires, because you could not spot them from a long way off. They used to be very contained, very hot, and not give off much smoke. So they'd be using that to build their whiskey stills. And also a similar thing to the gin and tonic in India. Look at your face, you're putting me off. Similar to the gin and tonic in India, where you would add the gin to make the quinine taste better. The guys in Scotland, yeah, it's always an excuse in Scotland, isn't it? They would add juniper to their whiskey because they wanted the beneficial medicinal. Look, yes, you're going, yes. The nice medicinal benefits of the juniper in their whiskey to make the juniper taste better. So there we go. That's what they were doing.
But also, being of Scottish extraction, as it were, the Scottish people, Mum, please tell me this is true. That actually at New Year at Hogmanay, it's also juniper would be used, juniper smoke, because it's not very smoky, but it smells great. And it'd be used to cleanse and bless the house as well. And actually, to be honest, Joe, can we have that middle Alexander back for the first?
Yeah. Can we just have him back for every answer, really?
Can we just have him back?
Just have him back, generally. Well,
I see him with
in Wales, we used to go through the house with a piece of coal.
Same.
My dad was always sent through because he was very dark haired, and they would send him through first footer with a piece of coal.
Absolutely. Same in Scotland. It must be a Celtic thing. So yeah. Let's have Alexander because I really like the look of him.
Yeah, Emma, just bring Skarsgård back up, please. Thank you.
Yes, we only want the answers must be him from now on in. We only want him up, and there's a slide. Right. For goodness sake.
We sound like we've lost the plot, but we are actually now going to get on to some culture. Because we do like a spot of culture at York Gin, believe it or not, and I'm not talking about mould. This is a beautiful portrait of... Oh, well, I can't remember what I'm supposed to ask you now. Oh, this is Ginevra de Benci. What can you see in the background of Leonardo's portrait of Ginevra de Benci? And there is a jolly good reason why she's looking so bloody pissed off. And I'll tell you in a minute.
She doesn't.
She does not have the Mona Lisa smile, but I'll tell you why. She's not happy. Do you know how to go?
Distinctly unchuffed, Joe.
She is. She's dischuffed.
Dischuffed.
She's so dischuffed, she shaved her eyebrows off. Just saying.
Oh, why did you do that? Never do that, people. That is not what we recommend here at York Gin.
We do not recommend, not even in lockdown.
Not even in lockdown. Now, you know, here at York Gin, we like a bit of Harry Potter. Remember we had the gimlet of fire? Do you remember that? I had a scarf. We set light to a cinnamon stick. It was all very exciting.
That's what you called it.
That
probably came from Macedоnia.
Yes, and in a nice big red flower, maybe. I don't know. So the good news is that J.K. Rowling, however we say it, we know that her favourite drink is a G&T. Now, we know that. So she likes a G&T so much that she named a character in Harry Potter after her favourite tipple. So my question is really simple. Which character, not that simple, which character did she name after her favourite tipple? Now, have a good old look. Now, people, if you think about this, you will definitely get this. It's super easy, really, when you know the answer. Everything's easy when you know the answer. But if you know the answer, you will get this. It's her favourite G&T. So what character did she name after a G&T? There you go. Jojo, over to you.
Over to moi. Okie dokie. Oh, I love this pair. I grew up loving their songs. Absolutely brilliant. So this is Simon and Garfunkel in their song For Emily, Whenever I May Find Her. They talk about walking through frosted fields of something and lamplight. It's a very ethereal song. Apparently it's a really, really difficult one to perform. It sounds simple and it lasts 2 minutes, but it's a really difficult song. Anyway, what were they walking on, this lovely, loved up pair?
And it's really easy. Just think about what we're talking about. You'll get the answer. Anyway, it doesn't matter anyway.
Alexander Skarsgård.
Oh, yes, we walked through fields of Alexander Skarsgård. Is that the answer, Joe? Is that how it goes?
I think it's going to be the answer to everything from now on, I'm just saying.
Let's keep it there. One of that or Burning Bush. It's one or the other. You know. So, this question is specially for Siobhan. Siobhan, remember back in the 1990s? Maybe. I would like to think back to the 1990s Irish folky rocky band, Juniper. There you go. There always has to be a link. But there's a little blacked out face at the front. Who is the lead singer of the now defunct Juniper. He's Irish, Siobhan, and he likes a bit of
Irish. It's got a big black hat. It looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame from here.
I'll give you a wee clue. It's not. Is it though? Is it Damien Rice? Is it Bono? Or is it Ronan Keating? Now,
or is it Quasimodo?
Is it Quasimodo? Do you know what? I've got a little secret crush, and my secret crush, it's not so secret because I tell anyone that'll listen to me. My secret crush is actually Ronan Keating. So I have seen, I know, I'm so sad. I have seen.
You know, he's lovely.
I've seen Ronan Keating / Boyzone 5 times.
You've seen him flash Boyzone?
And once, now I've probably told this before. I tell the same stories like over and over again. So I used to live in Dublin, and I used to live in a very fancy bit of Dublin called Ballsbridge, which is by anyway, I won't bore you, but it's in hearing distance of a place called the RDS, which was a big showground. And Boyzone were playing, and I could hear them from my little garden with my little children, because at that point I was not allowed out because my children were only little, so I was confined to the house.
Confined to barracks.
But you know what? Even from a distance, I could hear that. I could hear it, Siobhan. I could hear it. Anyway, that's it.
I hear you.
Next question, Jojo.
Another one of my heroes. I remember going to see.
This is a great question.
What?
I've lost the plot, Joe.
I say he's another one of my heroes, Elvis Costello. He's brilliant. In his song, The World and His Wife,
yes.
What does Elvis say slips down like last night's drawers? Was it a gin and tonic? Was it a Jack and Coke? Or was it a juniper berry? And actually, when we find the answers, you'll find that's actually a bit of a trick question.
It is.
In fact, I've only just realised.
Yes, I know. So,
Anyway,
in your humble opinion, listen up. In your humble opinion, what would make you slip your drawers? Sorry.
It's just the same answer as everything else in this quiz. Alexander Skarsgård.
That is a brilliant question. So
that's a brilliant answer.
I have to tell you, I love this quiz, and this might be. It doesn't look like it might be my favourite question, but actually, when we get to the answers, this turns out to be a brilliant question. So, at the top of the show, at the little countdown clickery thing, hopefully you all saw, you heard the fantastic Sam Hurd. Give him a big round of applause. We love Sam. We love Sam. You heard him singing Jennifer Juniper, and there they are. Now, what I would like to know, pop pickers, is who recorded this hit. Now, the hit was in 1969. I was 2, so some of you young people may not have been around then, but you must know this song. I would like to know, is it the Rolling Stones, the bad boys of pop? Is it them? Is it Donovan, who's actually masquerading as Donny Osmond there? Or is it the Beatles, the clean-cut boys? Who could it be? Who could it be?
Who could it be?
Can we hear it again, Sandy Tanner Smith? I'm not sure. And maybe at the close, maybe that could be a thing. I don't know. Oh, there's loads of people know the answer to this. Are you all old like us? Do you all know this because we're old? Now, the answer to this is actually fabulous, and we will look forward to that. But right now, that is the end of that round. We're going to go back. If you can remember a time when the beginning of this round was, I think the Negronis are kicking in. So, take us back, Jojo, to Leonardo da Vinci.
Yes, indeed. This was actually the very first portrait that Leonardo da Vinci ever painted. Yes, he obviously went on to do quite a few more, but this was his first one. And this was a very, very intelligent, intellectual lady who was about to get married to someone twice her age. Hence the look on her pus. She's not pleased, is she? She's got a pus like a smacked arse, that woman, and no wonder. She really did not want to marry this bloke. But anyway, behind her is the juniper bush, of course. And juniper was a symbol, as we said earlier, of chastity. And to just double ram this one home, on the back of this portrait, if you turn it over, there is actually a painting of a juniper bush as well. Yes, I bet you didn't know that, did you? What are you doing? Stop fiddling around and listen.
I'm listening to you, darling.
I can't get the staff. They're always fiddling around.
I know, but isn't Juniper as a Christian name actually quite popular now?
Well, it was obviously her Christian name as well, and it's in Italian it's Ginepro. Ginepro. In Dutch it's Genevers, as we all know, Genevers, and French Geneviève. So yes, we're quite similar. She did actually go on to have another love affair, which didn't end well. She ended up self-isolating like we do now.
Crikey.
Yes, she sent herself off, take thee to a nunnery. She took herself off to one because that didn't go well either. So poor woman, she's very, very clever, but sadly born in the wrong era because she was told to do stuff and had to do it. There we are.
Poor
old her.
I've got a little interesting fact for you now. In 2011, the name Juniper, obviously our anglicised version of it, entered the USA top 1,000 names.
Ooh.
Do you be calling your child Juniper?
Not immediately, no, because it's a boy.
Oh no! Go back, Joe. Go back. If you had a little girl, would you like cradle it in your arms and go, "Hello, little Juniper"?
No, if I had a girl, it's going to be Poppy.
Oh, back to the opium, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Why would you not mess about with that?
All roads lead to Macedonia, I say. All right, let's go on to J.K. Rowling, whatever we say. Rowling, I think we say. Now, think about it. Who was named after a gin and tonic? It was, of course, the rather fabulous Ginny Weasley, and her full name, her actual name is Ginevra. So actually, J.K. Rowling, we're going to say Rowling or Rowling, I don't know. But
I thought it was Rowling.
Yes, I know, but I've heard people say Rowling too, so I never quite know which was the right one. But the good news is she actually had a little play on words though, because Ginevra, as you have already told us, is all about the gin. It's going back to the Dutch. It's going back to all the things. So she slipped her little favourite tipple in there, didn't she?
Quite right, sneakily. My friend Nikki Davis says she plucked her eyebrows at 14 and then never grew back. I don't remember having tiny eyebrows, Nikki. They looked all right to me.
So when I was younger, and this is many moons ago, I actually shaved mine off. Mum, I'm really sorry.
What?
You probably didn't know this, but I actually shaved my eyebrows off, and that's why. If you have a look at mine are pretty pathetic as well. I always have a long.
They're fine.
No, they've got some lovely Chanel colour on them tonight. But I actually never show my eyebrows. When I go to the hairdressers, I always say, no eyebrows to show. No eyebrows to show. Ever.
Ooh. Well, that's shocking. Shocking.
Right. Give us the answer to the next one.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a stretch, was it? Of course it was. Fields of Juniper. Juniper and lamplight. Oh, it was actually not written. Lots of people surmise that this was written for one or another of their gorgeous girlfriends, but it wasn't. It was actually written for an ideal of a lady. It was written for a thought, a feeling, a gorgeousness, but nobody in particular. So yes, and apparently a very difficult song to perform, as I said earlier. So yeah, but I love Simon and Garfunkel. Grown up with them, love them.
I love the fact you just said a gorgeousness of a lady. That's
gorgeousness.
That's a fantastic.
It's supposed to be very spiritual. A spiritual song. Yeah.
I like.
Yeah, more about spirituality than looky.
Yeah. Very, very
good luck with that.
So, yeah, good luck. So, Siobhan, did you get this one? So who was the front man of Juniper? It was Damien Rice. Look at him. I prefer him in his older years, to be frank. He's not doing
I've never heard of him.
Oh, stop it, Joe.
He's really famous.
Joe,
well, it's not famous to me. It's only famous if you've heard of him, just saying.
Well, that is also true. But he was the main influence. And I always say this wrong, so pick me up if I say it wrong. Ed Sheeran. Is that right?
Of course it's right.
It's right.
Ed Sheeran.
Now, you remember Ed Sheeran. He's has multi-billion, Dylan, whatever. He's got really shit tattoos, okay? He's got really bad tattoos.
I'm sure he'd love to hear you say that.
No, he admits it. He admits
Ed Sheeran of the shit tattoos.
He will admit it. They look like people have like crayons on him, which, to be honest, I'm not a fan of a tattoo ever. But I don't like ones that look like they've been crayoned on ever. But he has on his wrist, I'll just put my little wrist there, a tattoo of the words Damien Rice on his arm there, because Damien Rice was Ed Sheeran's biggest influence.
It's his signature, isn't it?
Yes, it's his autograph. Yeah, because I know, but when Ed Sheeran was a little boy, he went to see Damien Rice. He had this massive influence on him, and so he did one of his weird tattoos on his arm. Now, interestingly, obviously, Ed Sheeran has gone on to be a gazillion, billion, trillion, dillionaire, and has had a gazillion, billion, trillion hits. Now, Damien Rice actually also has had lots of hits, but we might not know them if we don't know them, Joe. But we don't.
I don't know them. I've never heard of him.
But I bet you've heard of Little Mix.
I have heard of Little Mix.
Okay. Now, I know you're not a fan of X Factor, are you, Joe?
Not at all. Can't be doing with it.
But when Little Mix won X Factor, their debut single was a cover of Damien Rice's Cannonball. So he probably earned more money through Little Mix than he earned in the rest of his life. He still performs today. He is, if you're into that sort of folkies, do you know what? He sounds like Ed Sheeran, is the truth. It's like, there you go. Siobhan, I bet you knew that, though. Jojo, take us to Elvis Costello.
What?
Move us to Elvis Costello.
Elvis Costello, here we go. Yes, so this is wonderful. And the song goes, the conversation melts like chocolate down their open jaws as the juniper berry slips down, just like last night's drawers. So chocolate and gin, does it get any better? Not really. But it was a bit of a trick question, that, really, because the juniper berry actually refers to a G&T, doesn't it? So, I remember going to see Elvis Costello when I was a teenager in Wolverhampton, along with everyone else, the Stranglers and Clash and the Jam, everyone. They were brilliant.
In Malvern, that's pretty impressive.
I know, it was unbelievable. We had the Winter Gardens, you wouldn't believe it, but we got all the big bands. Everyone came. It was a massive venue. We got everyone. Superb.
So, on to my favourite answer. And I'm so sorry, I'm such a smutty mind. So, it was, of course, Donovan, who's masquerading as Donny Osmond at the top left there. He sang about Jennifer Juniper, which Sam beautifully sang for us. Hopefully we might hear it again. But it was written about Jenny Boyd. Now, Jenny Boyd was the sister of Pattie Boyd, and Pattie Boyd was married to George Harrison. And George Harrison is a lot of people's, including my mum and yours, Joe, favourite Beatle, isn't he?
Yes, he's my favourite Beatle.
Yeah, always a favourite Beatle. Now, so Donovan up there has had a bit of a checkered past there. So he performed on the Sgt. Pepper album. He became part of the psychedelic movement. I think they were back in Macedonia on those blooming poppies, Joe. but his big other hit that he's known for is called Mellow Yellow. Jojo, what do you think Mellow Yellow is about?
They call me Mellow Yellow, quite rightly. They call me Mellow Yellow. Well, I know what it means now because you told me, but I didn't know before. And I'll never hear this song in the same way again. It's very upsetting.
So it's not upsetting at all. So Joe, when I said this in our rehearsal yesterday or the day before, I can't remember which rehearsal it was, she said she thought it was about absinthe because absinthe also is like yellowy, greeny colour.
It was just a wild stab in the dark guess. I knew it was something to do with getting high, but I didn't know it was this.
No. So Mellow Yellow was written about a banana-shaped yellow vibrator. So she's now hiding. What is wrong with that, people? We are ladies and gentlemen of the naughty, or over the noughties with the 2020s these days. So Mellow Yellow was written about a vibrator. So there you go. So every time you have a little Mellow Yellow, you just think about that, everyone. Where's Jo gone? Come back. Oh, she's back. Oh, she's got banana.
I'm saving it for later.
Crikey, Joe. That's too much information, but lovely. So, well, the good news is, lovely people, that is the end of our quiz. You've answered all the questions. Hopefully, it doesn't even matter if you got none of them right. It's just a bit of fun. We've had lots of cocktails. Joe, have you got a bonus question for us?
I have. We always like a big number for our bonus question.
A big number.
We do like a big one. So here we go. What is the distance travelled by the wonderful juniper berries from North Macedonia, which are hand-picked. Every berry has to be hand-picked on those spiky berries just to give us our gin. How far do they travel from North Macedonia to the lovely York Gin shop?
Mm.
Well, actually, Acos to Malbis for the distillery.
Yes, distillery, yes. Although we do have some in the shop, to be fair. Now,
we do in our award-winning best shop in York.
Best shop in York shop. That's the very one. So the good news is we're very generous on our bonus question, aren't we? So we give a few.
We'll give 1 kilometre either side.
Yeah. You're so mean. You're really mean. We'll give a 200 kilometres either.
As Glynis said, I've run out of drink. I'm getting mean. I'm going to go back to this one now.
I'm quadruple parked, but the good news is my favourite. Sorry, guys, not a lot left in there. There's another one coming, I can tell you for sure. Now, have you got...
My friend Nikki Davis has just answered. It's a seed. Nikki, that was the first question in the show about an hour ago. What? Catch up.
Maybe these, honestly, guys, these comments come up in like a total random order. And we love them all. We try and like them all.
At least we're getting them. We didn't last week. We didn't get them at all.
The whole thing stalled. God knows what happened.
The whole thing bloody froze, so we didn't know what was going on.
I do not know what happened last week. Anyhow, I was going to ask a really interesting question, which was, do you know our spot bonus prize winner?
Oh, hold on a minute. I've just got to sign in and find out. Let me find out. Give me 2 ticks.
Oh, we call me Mellow.
Yeah. Oh, stop it. You're so nice. Stop it. Our spot prize winner is Catherine Bellinger. Well done, Catherine.
Yay. Now.
We've actually got one more exciting thing to do.
We have. Tell us about it, Jo.
Well, there's a new kit out, a new tasting kit, a York Gin tasting kit. And Susannah and I have both got one each. Now, I've actually got the one to open because Susannah's Wi-Fi and stuff has been on the blink, so we didn't dare just give it to her in case she went bibbly bobbly boo or went off to, or in case she went off to burn her bush or something. So actually, we're going to look at my one. None of us have seen this yet.
Are we going to look at your burning bush?
We are. The only people who know what this looks like are the directors of York Gin who actually packed the thing. So I am going to open this live on air. It's the first time anyone has ever seen the content of this box. I'm going to get it.
Go on. I'm not allowed to open mine. I'm not allowed.
Right, I'm going to turn it that way. Let me see if I can.
Ooh, it's a big one. Oh, we're going down.
Right then. All right. So it's the York Gin Tasting Collection. So you've got lots of instructions and bits of info. And it's so nice. Oh, it's so nice. You'd be so delighted if you got. Oh, you'd be so delighted if you got this. Oh, look, all the lovely little sachets of botanicals. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, look. If you got that in the post, you'd just be about crying with delight, wouldn't you? There's all the tasting notes, look.
Oh, they're lovely.
Oh, and some nice
coasters.
Drinks mats, your coasters. Oh, with Rutterkin. Hey, Rutterkin, sorry you weren't the answer.
No.
Go burrowing. Oh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh, now then. Ooh, that's the first 3. Look, you've got your Roman fruits, York Gin Classic and Grey Lady in 1 pack.
Yeah.
And you've got, the bad boy.
Yeah.
You've got your bad boy Outlaw, our Navy Strength Gin, and my favourite Old Tom in the other pack. My favourite pack. Oh, and here you've got all the tonics that you need to taste it with. So you've got the Refreshingly Light.
Yeah.
You've got ginger ale. Oh, Nikki Love will be liking that.
Yes.
So I'm just losing my specs. And we've got a premium soda water as well, look.
Mm-hmm.
And some more of the first one. Yeah, the refreshingly light. And here we go, Sicilian lemonade. Oh, Deb Conroy, do you remember our trip to Sicily? Wasn't it gorgeous?
Oh.
I love Sicily. Can't wait to get back there as well. Well, that is just delightful. Do you know, if I got that in the post, I'd be absolutely chuffed a bit.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think they're just launching, aren't they? I think they've just gone live on our website, so you can get those delivered now.
I think
it's the first time anyone's ever seen the contents of the York Gin tasting box. Literally, that was unveiled live. I've never seen it before. Oh, nice.
I didn't open mine because I was excited by yours.
Oh, that's so yummy. Right then, my love, are you going to give the answer to our question?
I can, darling. If you're still doing things with things, I will happily.
I'm doing things with things, so you give the answer.
I'll give the answer. So we asked, how many miles from North Macedonia to our beautiful York Gin distillery? It is, now to be precise, it is 2,873.7 kilometres. We like the kilometres because it's a bigger number.
But we like a 0.7.
Yeah, we always like a 0.7. If you really want the miles, it's a 1,785. But we'll give you a few hundred either way. We don't mind. We're that good. So please keep continuing to donate to St Leonard's Hospice. They are so grateful for us. The discount code for tonight is, of course, the word juniper. Why would it be anything else? It could have been vibrator, but it's actually juniper. And you will get a discount on www.yorkgin.com. There is a fancy.
It could have been Skarsgård, let's be honest. He's been the opposite to everything else.
But Joe, that's quite tricky to spell. That's quite tricky. I don't know. So all that remains for us to say is our thank yous. As always, we thank Emma, we thank Bryony, we thank Guy, we thank anybody that's had anything to do with this. Simon, we thank you. For me personally, I've got a massive thank you. I've had a few technical issues. And Danny Lockwood, you're an absolute star. Thank you so much. Joe, I thank you. We thank Sam.
We thank Sam for singing, all his singing.
Jennifer.
And Kirsty for getting it recorded and sorted. So well done for that.
We did. We thank everyone that helps us. Next Friday, it's another fun night. Who knows what's going to happen? Jojo, darling, I thank you. You're my best friend ever. Thank you.
Mwah.
Mwah. And all it remains for us to say says good night and thank you. Thanks
all it remains for me to say is can't wait to get to Macedonia.
We've got our passports. We're off.